Dang, did Thanos kill Batman? Oh, we recording. Oh, welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies with Nerd is the New Bully. I'm your host Leroy with my co-host.
This is Eli.
And let's go ahead and start it off. Like I said, I know everybody's trying to be avoiding spoilers as much as possible for Endgame. We don't want to get our ass whooped. That's the thing. If saying spoilers left and right, so we're trying to be calm as possible. But yeah, this is going to be a Avengers Endgame complete solo podcast. We will save the comic book talk for later on. I know you guys want to hear about War of the Realms. I know you do. We're going to have to stow that talk for right now.
Yeah,
just
that Venom tie-in. Oh, man.
In the Squadron Supreme of America. No one gives a fuck about that shit. Let's talk about shit that people actually care about. We want to talk about Avengers Endgame because let's be honest, this is the reason we even do podcasts. Like, not just us, just anybody do these comic book podcasts if people want to know about comic book movies.
Yeah.
And here's what makes us different. Like I said, everybody and their mom is doing the Avengers in-game podcast right now. But the difference between us and them is that guys like Eli and I, we actually read the comics.
Mm-hmm.
So we can tell you the difference between what happened in the movie versus what happened in the comics. So we walk that line. We walk both worlds.
Yeah.
And so,
I really don't want to, because then I probably won't like the movie as much if I do.
And then, like I said, there's some hardcore fans that can't separate. Oh, well, it's different from the source material here. It's different from source material here. Sometimes you got to separate it. Sometimes you separate.
Yeah.
But we will talk about it. We will get into it. Now, normally, Eli, when we start these comic book movies, when we do these specials like this, we always talk about, where do you know the Avengers from and where do you know Shazam from? This is like the 25th movie.
Yeah.
We've done this shit before. This is old hat now. But I will say this. Let's just jump into this because we know this weekend. I saw it once, right? Eli, you saw it twice?
Yeah, I got to see it twice.
I couldn't see it again. I couldn't get in. It's like rock concerts. They're all sold out. They're 3:00 a.m. in the morning. Sold out. Can't get it. Because you gotta remember, it's only like 3 or 4 theaters even in this city.
Yeah, man.
So they're just all sold out. Can't get in. I know you went and saw it. I mean, obviously your theater was packed, right?
Yeah, both times. I went and saw the first time I saw it was 9:30 a.m.
Okay.
a.m. on Friday morning. I got my kid to school. I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna go see the Avengers before shit. I already saw some leaked shit. I better see it before the whole fucking movie gets ruined. So
Okay.
I went to the theater. 9:30 a.m. Fucking whole theater was packed. I had to sit in the front row.
Oh, that sucks.
And like way at the end, like maybe 4 seats from the end. So I had to like look my head up to the sky and then over, towards, the east, So I was so it was hard to see some of the action.
Right.
But yeah, that was my first viewing. Was a neck, basically giving myself a neck crank.
Okay. Now let me ask you this: you said you saw it at 9:30 in the morning. When did you purchase your tickets?
At 9:30 that morning.
Are you serious? Come on, man.
Everything was sold out. That's the thing. All the advance tickets sold. You know how it was. I didn't get my advance ticket, so everything sold out. And then my theater started adding all these round the clock showings. It was open 24 hours all weekend, and they had round the clock showings. Yeah, and they started adding all these extra viewings, like opening up extra theaters to get people in. So I was like, well, fuck it, 9:30, and the movie's 3 hours long, and I only got a window of time before I got to get my kid back from school.
Right.
So I was like, I'll go now.
Yeah, it's 3 hours. It's a commitment to try to plan around to get the movie. You just get like, hey, I'm gonna just go see an Avengers movie. No, you can't do that.
Yeah. Plus, there's half hour of credit or half hour of trailers and shit. You're there for most of the day.
Right. Oh, just clock in for the rest of the day. So yeah, that's how you went. That's how I got my tickets. I would think they went on sale April 3rd, like the day of.
Yeah.
So I went on sale. I bought my ticket the day of, and like I said, to see that Thursday that day. Later on that same day, that theater I bought it was sold out. Like everything was sold out completely. Matter of fact, even when I was buying my ticket at the time, I was actually I had a friend that actually rented out a private screening. So the screening I went to, everybody in there I pretty much knew. And every time I was trying to buy a ticket, well, what seat do you want? Well, I want F8. That's sold out. Well, F6. That's sold out. I'm like, already? Yeah, everything's gone. So I just had to get whatever seat I could get. So I finally got in the seat and got my tickets. And I was hoping I would hear some dumbass go to the theater and be like, one ticket to Infinity Endgame. Like, no, dude. You're waiting too long for that. Not going to happen. So, yeah, but like I said, that's the thing. Avengers Endgame is making all this insane amount of money. People are trying to get in, can't see it. People going around the block. I've seen people online saying they've already seen it 4 or 5 times. Like, how? How have you seen it 5 times already?
Yeah, no shit.
And so, I don't know. It's insane. Oh, now let me ask you this. This is a very important question, Eli. Did you take a bathroom break?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Okay.
I bragged about it online. I was like, I'm taking a piss.
Well, I know you said you were going to, so I just thought you were talking big and bad, you know.
I don't care.
Okay. Now, when you stood up and walked out of the theater to take the piss, did the theater look at you? Did they give you the evil eye?
No, there was people walking, people walking up, getting up all the whole time. I wasn't the only one.
Okay. Okay. I'm proud of myself, Eli. I made it.
The second time I did it though.
Okay.
It's weird because the first time I didn't have anything. I mean, I already had my bowl of cereal. Like I said, it was the morning.
Yeah.
So I already ate some cereal. So I didn't even get any refreshments the first time, and I still got up and pissed. But the second time, I had the popcorn and candy and the big tub of soda.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't budge. I sat there the whole time.
Someone get up for the bathroom, but not us. Not
Yeah.
us.
Plus, I had people on both sides of me and shit. And I'm like, well, fuck. I don't want to rub my ass in anybody's face and shit. You know how that is.
So yeah, it's insane. I like I said, I've only seen it once. I did not go to the bathroom. I made sure I cleansed myself before I went in there, so I wouldn't have to. It was an all-day process. Now, when I did go in, like I said, I went in with a couple people, and they ordered a large box of popcorn. They didn't touch it. They gave it to me. I ate the box of popcorn by myself and drunk a large drink by myself. But I did not go to the bathroom.
There you go.
I stayed there the whole time. I was a soldier. I endured. So, however, when I got out of the theater, it was. But here's the thing, Eli. Why didn't you tell me that popcorn doesn't digest?
I didn't know. It doesn't?
Well, it's corn.
Oh, well, yeah.
Okay.
I thought like regular corn doesn't digest.
Well, whatever is in that shit, it didn't digest. Now, the thing is, I'm guessing if you're eating like a regular bowl of popcorn, it's okay.
What the fuck? You shit out caramel corn afterwards?
Not immediately. But yeah, when you eat a large box of popcorn to yourself, that's a process. That's a 2-day process. So yeah, it took a while for me. I was like, yeah, I had to suffer for it in game. So yeah, but I made it through it. Didn't, go to the bathroom. I was there the whole time. Finished the box of popcorn by myself. Finished the drink by myself. But I was still there watching Endgame for the entire time of it. And yeah, that's it. So before we jump into the review, because we're gonna dive in, what we're gonna do is talk about the box office numbers. Well, at least the numbers that we have right now. And Eli, give it to me. What's the number 1 movie of the week?
I don't know. I think everybody knows.
Everybody knows.
Yeah.
It's Endgame. Everybody and their mom trying to go. Probably people are trying to get in there right now. We don't know what time we're recording this, and it's probably still a sold out theater.
Yeah, I mean, it's already made $1 billion worldwide, and it's only Sunday.
It's only Sunday. It's not even. It hadn't even been Sunday yet.
It's Sunday night, and it's already made $1 billion across the globe. I mean, everybody's seen it. Right. Except Gomer, but everybody's got it.
Oh man, but Gomer's okay because he's fine with just reading a script and leaking spoilers all over the internet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, let me go down the list. Number 2, we have Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel, really?
Yeah, Captain Marvel.
Number 2?
Number 2, yeah.
Oh shit!
Look, this happened last year. Black Panther, when Infinity War came out, Black Panther got that surge.
Oh no shit! It's weird because like the drive-in just opened, around here, and it was showing Endgame and Captain Marvel.
Oh, at the same time, yeah. So right
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
Captain Marvel's at 1.1 billion. So
Okay.
insane. And
Yeah.
we will talk more about Captain Marvel, but we'll get there. Number 3, Curse of the Laurel.
Oh yeah, the ghost story, the Mexican ghost story.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Number 4, Breakthrough. Number 5, Shazam. Number 6, Little. Number 7,
Mhm.
Dumbo. Number 8, Pet Cemetery. Number 9, Us. And number 10, Penguin. Now, what about the other comic book movie that was?
Penguin.
Uh, yeah, Disney Nature. I think it's the name. It might be
Okay.
like a
Okay.
documentary or something. Let's find Hellboy, or as some theaters like to call it, Heck Boy.
Yeah, Heck Boy in the South. Out
And
by
it's-
you, right?
Yeah, in the Bible Belt, yeah, it's Heck Boy.
Those damn snake handlers are afraid of.
Could it be Satan? So yeah, it's at number 14 right now. But we're gonna look at. Oh fuck, I got a lot of shit going on. Okay, so we got. I'm gonna look at Hellboy's number and that other comic book movie that everybody's already forgotten about. So it's 2 comic book movies everybody's forgotten about. Shit. I probably shouldn't call this out. Okay, so Hellboy right now worldwide is at 21 million.
Not just cute.
Yeah, but let's talk about this one. This is the one that I was interested in. Shazam.
Yeah,
Shazam is worldwide 346 million. So
that's not bad
yes.
for a Shazam movie. You know,
I mean, but $1 billion for a Captain Marvel movie? I mean,
I don't.
I don't. One movie everybody hated, every movie everybody liked, but one movie grossed 4 times as much as the other one.
Yeah, I don't know.
What a world we live in. I don't know.
Yeah.
And because I guess people feel like they're obligated to see Captain Marvel, then they go see the movie and then bitch about it anyway,
Yeah.
and then realize that they don't even have to watch it because nothing is really even tied to Endgame. It's
Not
just,
really.
It's just a movie.
Spoilers.
Spoilers. So, yeah. So, like I said, we got that out the way. We talked about these movies. Like I said, Endgame is already at 1.2 billion, but that's an estimate. So tomorrow, it very well could be past that. Now, if anybody want to know what the worldwide record is right now, the worldwide record right now is Avatar. Avatar has 2.8 billion. So let's think about this for a second. Avengers did 1.2 billion in 3 days. Avatar's record right now is 2.8. So all Avengers has to do is a little bit over double what they have right now, and it'll be the highest grossing movie of all time.
Basically.
Yeah, it's look like it's gonna break that record. Look, if Avengers ended up being the highest grossing movie of all time, I have no problem with that.
I mean, it's not surprising. I mean, just look at the track record. I mean, it's
True, but I mean, we had so many movies come close. We had like the Force Awakens come close, didn't quite get there. We had the first Avengers come close. Actually, no, it didn't come anywhere near that. So if this movie does it, I would have no problem with that because hey, it's an Avengers movie. We should be validated for that.
yeah,
Eli, I used to get my ass whooped for reading Avengers comics.
yeah.
Look at the world we live in now.
I never got my ass whooped for reading comics, but you know,
Well, yeah, you probably
well, no,
whooped ass, Eli.
yeah, motherfuckers tried to whip my ass a few times.
Like you could try to take my comics.
Yeah,
How dare you,
but, you know.
motherfucker?
Yeah, I was that weird, scary kid in the back of the room that had no friends, that no one talked to. But they didn't fuck with them.
Right.
You know, the people who did knew why.
Oh yeah, so that's it. So like I said, we got that out the way. Now we can actually talk about the movie. Like we're gonna jump into the movie. Eli, this is what we're gonna do.
Okay.
We're gonna give like I said, we've done this before. We're gonna give a non-spoiler review as much as we can, just about what we think about it, and then we're gonna deep dive into this motherfucker. So I'm gonna let you go first to give us a quick review with the score at the end of it, and just tell us what you think. Like I said, I know you've been talking about this all week, and I've been trying to avoid your opinion about it as much as I can, but I'll let you go. So we're here for the first time.
Well, obviously I enjoyed it. I saw it twice, so I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. Being the comic book nerds that we are, we speculate, and I went in with all these sort of expectations and speculations, thinking I know what's going to happen. This is going to happen. That's going to happen, and blah 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 blah. Some of it did. But then there was a bunch of stuff that caught me off guard. I was like, wow, I did not see that coming. Mm-hmm. Even with some of the leaked footage that I had seen, I was still like caught off guard and like, wow.
Thanks, Gomer.
Yeah. You know, but no, I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. I enjoyed it a lot more than Infinity War.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, I felt. Well, this is my thing. I felt like this is like Infinity War is all action,
Mm-hmm.
and this is all plot.
Right.
So it's like this Endgame makes the shit that happened in Infinity War matter. You know what I mean? So it's like the Kill Bill movies to me. You know,
I've
one's
heard
all
that. I've
action.
heard that comparison before,
Yeah,
also.
yeah. I think they're meant to be watched in one sitting if you have a day to kill to do that. But I think this really, you know, highlighted the emotional climax to not only Infinity War, but the whole franchise in general. It was just a huge celebration of this cinematic universe. It was a best of greatest hits. An event. It was that event comic book that we read every year from Marvel or from our comic books where they get all the characters together in one big story, and this was that at the movies,
Right.
and I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. I wanted to see some action, but it really didn't have a lot of action. It was more focused on that emotional denouement, that emotional climax.
Mm-hmm.
Sending off all our characters, rounding out all the characters, and giving them their arcs coming to a close. And it did so. I thought they really nailed it on that sense, just giving us a satisfying emotional conclusion to this whole series, this whole 10 years of fucking movies, over 20 movies that we watched.
Right.
So yeah, I mean I give it a 5 out of 5. Fuck it. I didn't think I was gonna like it. Yeah, okay. I didn't think I was gonna like it that much.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll drop it to 4.5 out of 5 because when I think about it, there was some shit I'd have liked to have seen, but
okay. When we get into spoiler talk, we're gonna address that because I'm curious about that.
Yeah, but on just like I said, on just the feeling that I got from this movie, I walked out of it really satisfied. Yeah. So.
Nice. Okay. All right. Yeah. What can I say about this movie? Yeah. Honestly, Eli, I agree with a lot of what you said. It's like, well, let me add this. Let me add this a little bit. Now, I think as far as Endgame as a movie, like I said, for anybody going to this movie, what you take away from this movie is basically how invested you are in the MCU to begin with. Mm-hmm. For instance, if you're kind of into these movies and you kind of like them, and you go see this 3-hour movie, which is pretty much a love letter to the MCU, you're gonna come out and be like, it's okay. I had fun. You might think it's overhyped. You might think it's more than that. If you don't like these movies at all, Endgame might be torture for you.
Yeah.
Because they reference so much shit that just might fly over your head. You don't care about these characters. You don't care why we should care about these characters. It's not a lot of action in it. The movie is a slow burn, especially at the beginning. They take their time with these characters. And that's between Infinity War and Endgame. So some people will like Infinity War better because Infinity War is like all action. It's action, action. It's super fast paced. Mm-hmm. Now, for my opinion, like I said, we reviewed Infinity War last year, and one of my knocks for that movie was it was too fast paced. It was just action on top of action on top of action on top of action. I was just like, whoa, the movie didn't give you a chance to breathe. Now, once I got a chance to watch Infinity War multiple times, my love for that movie grew. But that first time, it just felt like an assault on my senses, for Infinity War. However, when in Endgame, not only is the movie longer, so you have more time with your character, you have less characters in the movie. And then on top of that, you have more interaction with the movie you get the chance to like really deep dive into these characters. So it's more of a character study than Infinity War. So in that aspect, I actually liked it better because the gripes that I had about Infinity War, I feel like Endgame fixed.
Yeah, because this movie gives it the why they're fighting, why all that action was taking place. This gives it all a purpose.
Right. But here's the thing: when it does get to the action, holy fuck. Eli, that shit blew me away. I was like, am I seeing what I'm really seeing?
Yeah. I mean, my theater was losing. There was so much cheering both times
Right.
Both viewings, people were clapping and cheering. It was like a concert. It was like a rock concert.
Yeah, it was like a rock concert. I mean, every moment I was like in my theater. I don't care who was next to me. I was like, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. I kept going.
Yeah.
And so it was just so much shit they were just throwing at you. Luckily, like I said, you had some stuff spoiled for you. I only had one thing spoiled for me. It was at the end. And honestly, I'm kind of glad it was spoiled for me because honestly, if it wasn't, I don't think I would have been prepared for it. So I'm glad they gave me heads up. It was at the very, very end of it, but I'll talk about that in a second. So yeah, like I said, they threw everything at you in this movie. As far as the movie had the acting, it was there. The emotion was there. You understood the drama behind these characters. So when they finally did fight, you felt it. It wasn't just people just throwing shit at you. You felt everything they were fighting for against these other characters they were going with. Like I said, this is amazing. That last scene just felt like a comic book thrown on screen. Like not an adaptation of a comic book. It felt like how the comic books are. Like you remember how we watched Civil War back in 2016, something like that, and we saw like some guys fighting in the parking lot. We were like, well, about as good as you can get.
Yeah.
Not this, not Endgame. This is like, no, this is the fucking comic thrown on screen at the end of it. Just throw that shit out there you could tell it was so much shit that they've been saving, all through these other movies that they saved it just for this one movie. Like, okay, this is it. Throw the kitchen sink at this movie. Everything fans were expecting us to do, this is the payoff of it. So it took 22 movies to pay this off. On top of that, like I said, if you are a fan of these movies and you really know the lore of these movies, it's so many callbacks between other movies that they did. Some of them are like blatant. Some of them are subtle. Some of them you like really got to catch. You're like, oh, I remember that from that movie. Like they turned around and made Thor: The Dark World one of the most important movies in the franchise.
I know shit.
Like, really? And Eli, I love that fucking movie. But it was like so much, like some of it was subtle, some of it was there. The movie was a love letter to the MCU fans. That's what it was. And not even the MCU fans, because there was a lot of comic references in there. They were like, oh, I didn't expect them to go there. Yeah. Like if you know the comics, you would catch that shit, but a casual fan wouldn't catch it.
Yeah. But even as a movie, I mean, this movie was approached like a comic book, where when you do get the references, it's like when you read a comic book and then that little text comes up on the panel. It says
issue such and such.
Yeah. See X-Men 398.
Smiling Stan.
Sincerely Ed or whatever.
Right.
And if you're into these movies, if you're a fan of the MCU, you're like, oh yeah, that's from Ant-Man. That's from Thor. That's from Iron Man 3 or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that was cool. That's in that sense that was really cool.
Right, because they want you have to watch all of these movies to catch every single reference. It doesn't matter what movie. I can't think of a single movie that wasn't referenced in the MCU that they did. Like when it was all said and done, because even if it was just something very subtle, it was just in there. So I'm like, Eli, my score, because you gave it a 4.5 out of 5, I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 5. To balance
Get valiant, it out, y'all. Get valiant.
Get valiant. So the movie. I mean, just the way it was shot.
I love it. I love it 3,000.
Love it 3,000. I mean, I was just blown away at this movie, man. I mean, even like the number one things that we always crapped on Marvel about in general, like how like these movies look boring and how these movies look like they're badly shot. This movie looked beautiful. Like there was some beautiful shots in this movie. So that's what I was learning about. Even the score, Alan Silvestri, he's the only composer that these Marvel movies have that these movies, like the score sticks with you. And anytime that Avengers score start playing, I'm like, here we go. I'm just ready for it. So yeah, movie blew me away. I can't wait to see it again if I can get a chance to see it again. I just gotta wait for the theaters to die down. So yeah. So that being said, can we actually move into the spoiler part of it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go for it. Okay, so like I said, we're going to the spoilers, so don't get mad at us. Don't try to beat us up. Eli already said you're not kicking his ass. So there you go.
Well, that was a long time ago in high school. You can probably kick my ass now.
You can try. That's what Eli said. You can try to kick his ass.
My cardio ain't what it used to be. So, after 3 minutes, you got a good chance.
Oh man. So let's just dive into this. First, let's just dive into the actual characters of it, because that's one of the main reasons, the spoilers of it, because of the characters that were in there. Like for instance, Tony lives, of course, we know that. What do you think about his whole arc in the movie?
Did you say Tony lives?
Well, okay. Spoiler: Tony dies, but Tony lives.
You're talking about from the beginning.
From the beginning,
Oh,
because we didn't know
okay.
when he was gonna live, how he was gonna get out of that, whatever like that. But eventually, he got out of it, through divine intervention from Captain Marvel or whatever like that. So,
Yeah.
what do you think about his whole arc he had going on in the movie?
Well, I thought he is the main backbone of this whole series, this whole franchise.
Right.
So him having to make that decision to basically rejoin the Avengers, because he didn't have to. He kind of after the whole Thanos snap, he kind of made out all right. He's living with his family. He's got a kid. They're on a fucking awesome cabin on the lake. They got it pretty damn good.
Okay.
So he really didn't have to do anything after that. So the fact that he does just showcases what a cool dude he is.
let me add to that. Okay. I disagree with you. I'm gonna tell you this why I disagree with you, because I felt like in Tony's heart, he did have to do something. He did have regret over what happened. I'm gonna tell you why what happened. Now, here's the beauty, the brilliance of Iron Man as a character, because Stan Lee, when he made these characters, their superpowers reflect their personalities. So Tony Stark, personality, he has an emotional wall of armor around him that you can't penetrate. However, once you penetrate that armor, emotional armor, he's vulnerable. It's the same way Robert Downey Jr. plays him, same way he was in the comics. Now, here's what I'm trying to get with that. On the surface, it looks like he has everything. He has his wife. He's living in a cottage away from society. He has a beautiful daughter, So it looks like everything, like he has nothing to lose. He has nothing to lose and everything, everything to lose, nothing to gain from, helping the Avengers. However, when he goes in the kitchen, what does he have hidden behind the kitchen on the type of refrigerator that nobody else sees?
Well, yeah, it's the picture of Peter Parker.
The picture of Peter Parker. He has regret over losing Peter Parker. Yes, he has a daughter, but he lost a son. So in the back of his mind, he's like, yeah, I have this perfect life, but what if I can get him back? What if I can, erase all regrets I have from there? That's why he wants to help. But he has to let the Avengers know up front, no, I can't do this. No. Even when he was yelling at Cap at the beginning of it, he's cracking jokes and stuff, but you can tell he's like super hurt over what happened. I tried to warn you about everything that happened. You didn't listen to me. Look at where we are now. I mean, even though he didn't say it, you can hear him telling everybody in the room, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. But he was doing it in a jokingly laughing way, because that's the brilliance of Robert Downey Jr. as an actor. He can be funny, but let you know what's going on at the same time. So, yeah, at the end of the day, he was going to be motivated no matter what to save the Avengers, but he can't let them know that. It's got to be on his terms.
Yeah.
So, because he's an alpha male, basically.
Yeah. I mean, but he still had to make that decision of, I solved it. I could totally make this work,
Right.
But I don't want to, there's that internal struggle of, do I want to give up? Do I want to risk it?
Right.
And then there's Pepper there like, hey, we're lucky, but there's a bunch of people who aren't lucky.
Right. And that's where we see growth is on, because that's the difference between the movie version and the comic version. The movie versions can grow, they can mature. Tony can't have a kid in the comics because it would age him. He can't get married in the comics, that would age him, but he can get married and have a kid, and he could talk to his wife about something that's on his mind. 10 years ago, he wouldn't have cared what Pepper said about this shit. He would do whatever the hell he wanted to do. But now he's actually conferring to his wife, and I thought that's growth as a character. I'm like, wow, because it feels like Robert Downey Jr. plays Tony Stark differently in every movie, and that's the beauty of it. So I thought it was an awesome performance. Like I said, we can talk about at the end, he sacrificed himself, to save the universe, And since we got there, like you said, okay, Eli, how many times did you cry in the theater?
I was moved a bunch of times, but I think I got choked up. Well, one part really choked me up. No, maybe twice. 2 times I like choked up, but I was moved. There was a bunch of moving. I was moved throughout. There was a bunch of parts that I was like, wow, I really got the feels. But twice, one part really stood out. And then there was towards the end, and you know what scene, you know what happened at the end. There was one particular scene that kind of got to me too. You know.
Okay.
So I would say twice. You know, my tear, you know, my eyes welled up and shit.
Right.
You know, I got the lump in my throat.
Who's chopping onions in here?
Yeah, what's wrong with my face? You know?
I had to get that out the way. Reason because I've been watching reviews on YouTube, and at least 3 times I've seen reviewers while reviewing the movie break down and cry in the middle of the review. I'm like, whoa, okay. So I'm trying to make sure we don't do that. You know, this is where the healing begins. You know, I'm trying to make sure we don't get there. Oh man. But yeah, like I said, the emotion moved for me. I look, that Tony scene at the end dying was sad, but I wasn't sad for Tony. I was happy for him. Okay, remember Tony Montana, the way he went out in Scarface?
Yeah.
That's what it reminded me of. Nobody felt bad for Tony Montana. Tony Montana was killing motherfuckers left and right. He was like, yes,
you're
I'm
fucking
going to
with
die.
me. You're fucking with the best.
Exactly. Tony Montana, Tony Stark. He was like,
the
I'm
world
gonna go,
is yours,
you're all coming with
motherfucker.
me. You know? And it's the same thing with Tony. He like, yes, I'm going to die. But guess what, Thanos? You coming with me. You and all your flunkies. And at the end of the day, everybody else is going to be safe. So I was like, that's a badass death.
Yeah. No, him dying didn't. I mean, I kind of figured that was going to happen. We all knew. Like I said, we heard the contracts are up. I was pretty much speculating. Yep, Tony's probably going to die in this, and or Cap, or both. You know, So I was anticipating that. So that actually didn't surprise me.
Right.
It was all the shit at the funeral. You know,
that was pretty because they dragged it out and it was sad and he gave his own eulogy. Yeah, that was cool. I'm just saying the death itself I thought was badass as fuck. That's the thing. I like that's how the fuck you go. I am Iron Man. I was like,
oh
yes.
yeah, that was dope. Yeah. Just putting that last stamp on the series. Like that's where this began with me and it ends with me too, motherfuckers.
Right. And all of you are coming with me. So I was like, that's fucking badass right there, man. So yeah, I was loving it. That's how you just go out in the scene, and that completes his arc, you know. Yeah. I mean, like I said, he got a chance to grow, he got a chance to die because in the movie universe, that's how it is. You can't retcon this shit. You can, but you can't reboot this shit. You know, you can't start from the beginning. So that's what I talk. Let's see who else we got. We'll save Cap. We'll save. And that's the reason why I'm glad Tony did it, because if Captain Marvel would have beat Thanos, everybody would have been fucking pissed. Like, what
and
the
she
fuck?
totally could. She did everything else.
She could. She is
She almost
too
did.
fucking strong in these movies, man.
She almost
Like,
did.
what the hell, man? She just Sanctuary, right? Sanctuary, which can blow up planets in the comics.
Yeah.
She Swiss cheese that shit like it was nothing.
Yeah.
Thanos trying to headbutt her. She's just laughing and like not even budging, not even moving.
Yeah. Yeah. He punched her with the Power Stone, and she just like got thrown away a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, that was the only way he could stop her. Like, get this bitch off me.
Yeah. It's like you say, Captain Marvel's gonna lead the new Avengers movies now. It's like, why does she need the Avengers?
It's like Superman. Like, why does Superman need the Justice League? It's the same with Captain Marvel.
She don't need anybody. She looks like she's fine by herself.
I mean, I really thought she was gonna show up and be like, "What? This guy bothering you? You know, just beat the shit. Just throw him in the sun. You know, just be done with him."
Yeah, no shit. Just fart on the battlefield and throw everybody in.
Like, why is she this fucking strong? Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
I don't know. So, what else do I have? Who else we talk about? You know what? Let's talk about a character we both love, the Hulk.
Yeah.
We called it. We did call this We called this 2 years ago. We called this in Ragnarok. He was gonna be Professor Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, like I said, he's Professor. I want to see how they pull it off. They pulled it off like it was. I mean, basically Professor Hulk. Now, in this one, they said he had sessions in the gamma ray or gamma bath or some shit like that. In the comics, he had therapy, you know, and just merged himself into Professor Hulk. Now, like I said, we're calling Professor Hulk, but the comics actually never referred to him as Professor Hulk.
No.
That is a basically a fan name created by Wizard Magazine. And everybody just ran with it from there. So, but yeah, basically Hulk has the mind of Banner and Hulk, and he runs around and stuff like that. He's not as strong as Savage Hulk, the mindless brute this works at. So, and you can tell in the movie he's not that strong. He's, he balances himself out, which is a cool thing. Yeah. Overall, pretty cool arc. They had him as smart because he almost figured out the time travel, but he wasn't quite there. But the point was that he almost got there because Banner's like stupid smart in the comics.
Yeah,
that's a cool thing about that one.
Yeah. I mean, I was a little disappointed that I didn't get to see him throw down with Thanos and get at least get him back.
I would have wished that too. I was like, man, okay, Professor Hulk's gonna come and beat Thanos, but honestly, he would have got his ass kicked.
Well, not only that. I don't know if we just to at least get it off with him and give him a good what for a little bit before then Tony takes it out. But no, I actually enjoyed the fact that the Hulk was able to use his mind instead of his muscle. Especially during that whole with the Ancient One. The Hulk used his mind to solve a problem, which I thought was quite cool.
And that's something that movie fans haven't seen, but comic fans, we see this all the time. It's different versions of the Hulk. It's not the same version every time. And the fact that they're playing with that, it makes Hulk interesting because it's a different version we haven't seen before.
Yeah.
So I'm glad he was able to have Professor Hulk in there. I also like that he was the one I got to use Infinity Stones to do such, which kind of foreshadowed what's going on. So if the Infinity Stones can fuck up Hulk, what would they do to Tony? He's not Hulk. He's not Thanos, who's a fucking Titan. He's just a dude. Yeah. So of course it would kill him. So yeah, I would have wished Hulk had a good defense because I don't think he had a fight scene at all in this movie.
No, he just did a few things. What he did do, which I thought was really cool, is when Thanos came and blew up Avengers headquarters and it collapsed. That he was there holding everybody up, holding it up.
Did you think the same thing I thought?
What, Secret Wars?
Yep, Secret Wars. What was it? Number 5?
Whatever, the one where he's holding the mountain up.
That seemed like a direct reference to Secret Wars. I'm like, oh shit, he's doing it. I even whispered to the person next to me, Secret Wars number 5. They were like, I don't care. So yeah, I thought that was, but he did it with one hand because the other hand was fucked up. So in the battlefield, when I saw him running with one hand, I was like, oh yeah, he's not gonna fight anybody. He's fucked up. But at the same time, he did what he was supposed to do. So Hulk was more like the brain in this one, which was cool. So I think who else? Okay, or Ronin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was dope.
Love his whole. He was like the emotional person in the movie that I like. And I just like the fact that they were just making him just this killer, just running around. I like when Rhodey said in the briefing with Black Widow, those Colombian drug lords, you don't even want to know what happened to them. If it's Hawkeye, I don't even want to see him if he's the person that left this mess behind, So he's just been off the motherfucker.
Yeah, he's basically went Punisher.
That's what I say. He's Punisher, John Wick. He's all those guys,
Yeah.
Just ninja assassin. So, and honestly, he was a badass in this whole show. Nobody's gonna. There's no more. Rest in peace, Hawkeye jokes.
Yeah. That one of my favorite scenes was that duel he had with the Yakuza boss.
Yeah,
that was fucking dope.
Right, but if you're watching the scene and you don't know what's going on, you don't know it's him. You just think it's some crazy ass ninja assassin. It's a different movie. You're like, what? Is this the Raid or some shit?
Yeah,
He just pops up and just start killing people. You're like, and then it's Hawkeye doing this shit. Wow.
Yeah, he was that duel, that whole sword fight. It was like on one take.
Right.
No cuts, just them just dueling it out and like a fucking samurai movie. It was awesome.
Right, and that's the thing we forget about is that S.H.I.E.L.D. trained both him and Black Widow to do shit like that.
Yeah.
He just, plays it safe because he's an Avenger. But yeah, if they cut loose and do the shit they really want to do, that's what both of them would do. Black Widow would do the same shit.
And the fact that the movie started out, the very first scene was with Hawkeye and his family.
Right.
And him reacting to them disappearing in the snap.
Yep.
Hawkeye to me was like the heart of the movie.
Yep.
Like him and Black Widow, they're the two humans. And it's so ironic that they were the ones who had to go get the Soul Stone. The two Avengers that had no superpowers. They were just humans. And that just points out what the Avengers have been fighting for this whole time, which was to save lives. The humanity. And I always said that the Marvel movies the best thing that they've ever done is make us care about these characters by bringing humanity to these super beings.
Right.
And that was mostly, this movie did that the best with Hawkeye and Black Widow when they had to get the Soul Stones, especially that they were killers.
Right.
You know, there were two killers looking for redemption, and it just and the fact that it emphasized that they were able to appreciate life and saving lives. You know, and which get what the Avengers were trying to do this whole time, which was save lives.
But at the same time, it's like you said, they're both killers. They both have regret on what they did. Natasha feels like there's no reason for her to live because she didn't have anybody. Meanwhile, Hawkeye's like, all this shit that I was doing, like these Colombian drug lords and Yakuza, the person I've become, even if I save my family, I don't even know if I can face my family again.
Yeah.
You know,
and they were both fighting over who was going to die. It was like, that was the scene that got to me.
I mean, have we ever even seen anything like that in any movie before?
Yeah, where they were fighting over who was going to sacrifice themselves.
Right, like we seen it the other way. Like, okay, I'm gonna kill you, but not, I'm the bigger person. No, I'm gonna beat you, so I can kill myself. I don't think I've ever seen that. That's some new shit. Yeah,
and just them when they're hanging off the cliff, and she's like, "Let me go," and that it calls back to that line when she first met him in Tokyo.
Right. When
he's like, and she's like, "I have a way we can, make this all right," and he's like, "Don't give me hope," and she's like, I just wish I'm getting shivers just thinking about it. It's like, I wish I could have given it to you sooner.
Right.
And I was just like, oh man. And then when they're hanging off the cliff and he wanted to die because he had nothing to live for anymore.
Right.
But she was like, I can give you what you want again. I'll take one for the team for you. And he's like, no. Cause you like what you were saying, he didn't know if he could go back to being that happy family man again.
Right.
After what all he's done. And like, this is your chance, man. He'd like, you can see that struggle. And then when, like I said, that was the part that got to me the most was that scene.
Now, I'm going to tell you what got to me. It was one particular scene, and it may have not gotten anybody else. Okay, so Natasha died. Spoilers. So she died, and Hawkeye got the Soul Stone. So they had that little mini funeral, things like that. But Bruce is what got me. Banner what got me because he realized that Natasha is dead and he never told her he loved her.
Yeah.
Now, if you go back to all the other movies they had, like you go back to Ragnarok and the way he felt about it then, never told that he always tried to fight his feelings the way he felt about Natasha. Like, I can't feel for her. Like, he can't allow himself to be happy. So when he took that chair and threw that shit into the next state or a city or whatever like that, I was like, I was like, damn, that shit got me.
Yeah. I mean, that whole scene, that was really well done where they realized what it cost. Cause they're all like, we did it. Wait, where's Nat?
Right.
They're like, oh shit,
And she and everybody in that room cared about it because let's be honest. I mean, it was very subtle, but her and Cap had something going on too.
Yeah.
So that's wow. That was tough. So I guess we knocked Black Widow out also. So let's do it. How the hell she got a movie coming out next year?
She's in the Soul Stone.
That bullshit. I'm so glad we can put that shit to rest. I've been telling people for a year they are not in the Soul Stone.
Yeah.
But somebody said they might have had because like I said, the movie's 3.5 hours long. Hulk said when he tried to bring her back, he tried to bring Natasha back also. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised they had a scene where he's like in that, that little Soul Stone area dream sequence where he actually may be talking to Natasha. Trying to bring her back, and she tell him like, "No, you gotta let me go," or some shit like that.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. Okay, now we said that. Let's talk about Thor. Now this was a controversy. This one we might take a while on this one.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you go first. What you think about Thor's portrayal in this movie?
Well, I thought it was hilarious. I was laughing, and like this movie. Even though there's this underlying tragedy going throughout this whole movie, it was still pretty fucking funny. There was a lot of humor in this movie. And a lot of it came from Thor. Because Thor, he let himself go. He was pissed off. He kills Thanos right at the beginning. Spoilers, in the first 5 minutes, he cuts off Thanos' head. But, he regrets failing.
Right, because it's empty. It's an empty, it's a hollow victory.
Yeah, he was the god that failed. He was supposed to protect everybody and save everybody, and he failed.
Mm-hmm.
So he's taking it so hard, and he just lets himself go. He becomes all fat. They play it for humor,
Right.
and it is very funny. But there's those moments, and again, legitimizing Thor: Dark World. Those you could really feel his sadness, throughout all that humor, because he regrets failing, and he doubts himself that Thor and Rocket. Hey, give me a Thor and Rocket movie, man. That's
they just go hilarious together.
that's all I want. I just want a Thor and Rocket movie. But when even Rocket's like, dude, come on, smacking him in the face. You can do this, man. You're the god of thunder,
Right.
Being a bitch, and he's still, I'm having a panic attack, and it's not until he sees his mom.
Right.
It's just like you go be the man you're supposed to be. You can do this. You're just doubting yourself, and so that I thought that was very touching.
When he grabs Mjolnir also.
Yeah.
Because honestly, when he grabs Mjolnir, he didn't think he was going to be worthy. He thought Mjolnir was going to come to him because that's how bad he felt.
Yeah. I'm still worthy, Yeah.
So my thing about Thor is like you said, it was played for laughs. It was hilarious until you really think about it. Honestly, Thor was probably the most tragic and darkest character in this movie.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, it's hilarious. It's fun. Thor's fat,
Yeah.
But
Lebowski, calling him Lebowski.
Calling Lebowski like that. But the thing is, Eli, if you really know the symptoms of severe depression, that's when the shit gets like super tragic. I mean, weight gain, stress eating, alcoholism, isolation. Pretty sure playing a bunch of video games has something to do with it also. So, yeah. Just feeling like failure, laziness, you don't want to be around anybody, denial, I killed Thanos. But if somebody else says that, all of that is symptoms of severe depression. And when you think about that, like, they're making fun of that? Okay. I mean, that whole scene felt like something right out of Taika Waititi. Because, like I said, Ragnarok was, if you really think about it, that movie was super depressing also, but everything was played for laughs. It's the same thing with this. It was super depressing, but played for laughs. Because they could have went a different way with it. They could have made Thor super depressing.
Yeah. They could have made him Batman, but
right.
That ain't no fun.
That ain't no fun. But you're right. They had to have some fun with this movie, and that's the thing. Like it was like he was so far gone, so far depressed. We're gonna use his as comic relief.
Yeah.
So and here's the funny thing about it. Honestly, it's gonna work in their benefit because there are gonna be so many Thor cosplayers at the next Comic-Con.
Oh yeah, I saw a meme.
Yeah. The
other day that said, for years I've been wanting a Thor body, and now I got one.
Oh wow, this is gonna be hilarious. It's gonna be funny. So yeah, but that's the thing about it. So we're laughing at this stuff, but I'm hopefully everybody can see the symptoms and signs of that because stuff like that. If you saw it in real life, you probably shouldn't be laughing at it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But it's a movie.
Yeah.
Go with it. So
yeah,
that's my thing about it. He got his redemption at the end. Another thing, like I said, when they're doing this fight with Thanos, the two hammers. That's out of the Jason Aaron run. Like they're making comic references that's like from like 2 years ago. Like they're really going deep with this shit because especially we took the hammer and baseball bat at Thanos. I'm like, okay, that's pretty fucking cool, Now this is what I want to say for last: Captain America. Now let's say Captain America for last. I guess we can talk about it together. Let's see what we thought about Captain America. Like I said, he was an integral part of this movie. Also, no matter everything that happened in this movie, he always stayed optimistic, no matter what.
Yeah.
Because that's Captain America. He didn't get broken like everybody else. Like Thor was broken, Black Widow was broken, Hawkeye was broken, but Captain America was still Captain America. It was all hopeful, everything that's going on.
Well, I think he does that he does it to convince himself. He's telling that he's in all these support groups and dealing with post-traumatic stress with all these other people and shit.
But he's helping them out. He's leading the group.
Yeah, but you can tell he's probably internalized. He helps other people, but as a way to help himself. He's got to remind himself of we got to keep moving on. We got to keep going. So yeah, he's feeling it, but again, he's Cap,
right?
And he just does what he does.
Like
but
you can't break him. That's
Yeah.
that's his superpower.
Yeah, but internally, he's got to keep reminding himself of all the shit he's telling everybody else.
Right. So if he gives everybody else hope, it gives him hope.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about the support group for a second. You saw Jim Starlin in there?
Not till you said something.
Okay, yeah. For those that don't know, like I said, it's a comic podcast, so we're going to jump into it. We have to we would lose our credibility if we don't give mention of this. So, yes, in the support group, there was Jim Starlin. For those that don't know who Jim Starlin is, he's actually the creator of Thanos, Gamora, Drax the Destroyer, probably some more people also. And he kind of reinvented Adam Warlock and Captain Marvel. Not Carol Danvers, the one that these comic gators love, that they never heard of before. But he's the one that kind of reinvented them and made them popular. He's also wrote so many books: Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity War, Infinity Crusade, Infinity Siblings, Infinity Watch, anything Infinity, that's him. Oh, and he also killed Jason Todd, Robin. But that's so basically, he's kind of a big deal, So it's good that he's in this movie. And Marvel does things like that. They'll throw creators in there, stuff like that. Not just Stan Lee. They give other characters also, like Ed Brubaker was thrown in the Winter Soldier because he brought back Bucky as Winter Soldier. That's pretty cool. One of the Russos was in there. As far as
yeah, he was, yeah.
Yeah. Now I thought the Russo was talking about his brother passed, like fade away, but they was saying that it was his lover.
Yeah, he said he went out on a date.
I must have missed that part. I must have faded out or something like that. I didn't catch that. So they're obviously marketing that as he is the first openly LGBT character in a Marvel movie. So I didn't catch that. Even though they're always hinting at LGBT characters in these movies, like, oh, Valkyrie was supposed to be, but we cut that scene. Or Okoye is supposed to be, but we cut that scene. You're like, come on, Marvel, stop dipping your toe in the water. You're either going to do it or you're not going to do it.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, I think the only LGBT and Brie Larson keeps saying we need more LGBT characters. I mean, that fucking haircut she had at the end of the movie, I thought they already had one.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. That was straight up female high school basketball gym coach haircut. I mean, but that's the haircut she got in the comics, so I always thought that in the comics also. Yeah, but like I said, so that's and what about the ending?
Which one?
Well, specifically Cap. Like I said, he didn't die.
Yeah.
One thing I took a while for me to catch on. Like I said, because one of the crucial parts, and we're going to talk about time travel in a second, but we're going to get to that in a second. One of the crucial parts of it is that he had to put the Infinity Stones back where they were, because even though it saved their reality, if he takes the stones from their reality, he's going to fuck up their reality. So put the shit back. He also put back Mjolnir also. But the fact that he stayed, he stayed in one of those timelines, lived his life, married Peggy, and then at the end of the movie, and this one, another thing comic gators love, when he gave the shield to Falcon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I knew they were gonna love that scene. And here's the weird thing about it. Like, everybody's saying, well, why would Captain America, go and live his life and just pretend like nothing happened and wouldn't stop any tragedies and wouldn't do anything like that? Who says he didn't? Who said we don't know what Cap did in that other timeline?
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, because he knows all this stuff ahead of time. He probably got Bucky back in the 70s or some shit and stopped everything he was doing. He probably formed the Avengers back in the 80s. We don't know what he did.
Yeah.
Even something interesting he said when he said, he gave it to Falcon, and he asked Falcon, how does it feel? He was like, it feels like it belongs to somebody else. And he said to him, it's not. What if he trained Captain Falcon in his universe or timeline to be the next Captain America? Like, he already trained him.
Yeah, maybe. It's blowing my mind, dude.
What if he became president? We don't know what happened. People are assuming they know what happened, but they don't know what happened. So I think we're jumping to conclusions on that, because basically Captain America lived the whole timeline. The only thing we know is that he married Peggy Carter. Other than that, we don't know. He might have had a bunch of kids, a bunch of grandkids, super soldier serum rushing through their veins and shit.
Yeah.
I'm making up a whole story that none of that shit happened. No, he
whole
just
phase 4, man. This is phase 4.
Yeah, he just banged Peggy the whole time and just let nuclear war happen. He don't care.
Yeah.
I sell this shit on my timeline. Fuck this timeline. I'm just here to get booty. So get that one last dance. So yeah, that's my thing about Captain America. So now we said that, can we dig into this time travel thing?
Are we going to save the battle for the end?
We're gonna take the battle fan because I want to jump
Okay.
in this time travel for first.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Now, Eli, were you confused about time travel? About how they
Um,
did it in this movie?
Not really. You know,
Okay.
I figure I watch enough Doctor Who to get it,
Well,
but
you know, every TV show has their own rules.
yeah. So I mean, I was able to follow what was going on. I did think, hey, what's going on with that? Wouldn't that do this? But I'm like, whatever, I don't care.
I mean, because I've had some reviewers, like I said, I've been watching YouTube videos. Not only have they been crying, but they've also been complaining about the time travel, saying the time travel didn't make any sense. And I thought it was they went out of their way to explain how this shit works. You know,
Yeah.
and even they specifically said Back to the Future rules are bullshit.
Hmm.
But these other reviewers, I'm still saying like, well, why didn't they phase out of time when that happened? Because that doesn't work that way. The movie went out the way to explain that shit. You know, basically, and let me just break down. And honestly, the time travel rules in Avengers Endgame are actually closer to real science than all these other all these other time travel movies like Hot Tub Time Machine and Terminator and whatever the fuck. You know, it's all bullshit. Keep in mind, it can't happen. You know,
Yeah.
but
And
they're
and
saying
all I and remember, you know, Bruce did this, like, snapped everything back.
right.
So from what I understand, like, he reset everything,
Not really. He didn't.
but whatever. Who gives a shit?
Yeah. But and
So
that's a very important plot point also. Now, when he snapped everything, brought everything back, he brought everything back to the moment he snapped it. So those 5 years, they lost that shit.
yeah, I get that it's
Yeah.
still 5 years in the future. I get all that.
Mhm.
But I'm saying that he erased everything that Thanos did, like, as far as everybody dying, everybody that's dead.
Only the
You
people
know.
that got snapped away. Yeah, only
Yeah,
those people. Yeah.
only the snap people. Yes, that's what I meant. You know. But other than that, I mean, you know, whatever. Who, you know,
Okay.
you
So,
know, yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
I guess.
I heard a lot of people just complaining about the time travel. So basically, let me just break down how the time travel works in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because it doesn't even work like that in the 616, like in the Marvel comics. Like I said, one of the greatest time travel stories of all time, came from Marvel Comics, and that story, in my opinion, is Days of Future Past. Now, Days of Future Past predates Terminator. You know, predates Back to the Future, predates Bill and Ted. You know, on
Mhm.
whatever the other time travel you want to. That shit, you know, it had the same rules. Like if you go back in time, you can change the present, blah blah blah, and all stuff like that. MCU doesn't work like that. If you go back in time, you do not change the present, you do not change the future. All you do is create an alternate timeline of what they do. It doesn't affect you at all. So basically, like the Nebula thing was getting a lot of people confused. They're like, well, if she shot herself, why didn't she phase out existence? It doesn't work like that. Like I said, Eli, just last week we talked
Yeah,
about the
because,
grandfather
well, she
problem.
was in the future. Well, yeah, and she was past. Well, the thing about that, she was past Nebula, who went to the future, which would be the Nebula's present.
Just
You
in my
know.
head. I'm like, see,
Well,
that's
what-
another thing about these time travel. Like, you got to keep up with this shit. Like, okay, I'm here. Where?
Yeah, that's like shit, like that happened, and she's in the present.
Right.
You know, so Nebula's shooting her past self in the present. So her
But
past
even if
self.
she shot her past self in the past, it wouldn't have made a difference.
Okay, well, okay, all right, I guess. Sure, why not? But
Yeah,
that's what I got out of it. It's like, she's not in. That didn't happen in the past.
No,
Therefore, she
if
wouldn't
it
be in the
did,
future.
Even if it did, it wouldn't have mattered.
Okay, all right.
Only thing, okay, that's what I'm saying. Like, they changed the past, they're not changing their future. So let's say she was in the past and shot Nebula, she'd be fine. However, the Nebula of that timeline, all of a sudden now it's a new timeline, and that timeline goes on, and there's no Nebula there. However,
Yeah.
it doesn't affect her at all.
Yeah, so that's like Rick and Morty.
I don't
and
watch
Morty-
that show, but sure.
Well, Rick
Okay.
and Morty goes to different, you know, alternate universes, and they can, like, replace themselves.
Okay,
you know.
I guess. I was gonna say Dragon Ball Z.
Okay.
Okay, because that's.
Yeah.
I know I'm throwing an anime reference in there, but basically that's what happened. Like, Future Trunks comes back to the time to, you know, save his father Vegeta, you know, from Perfect Cell. I know I'm speaking Spanish right now to some of you, but I'm getting to a point. Main point is that Trunks basically tells them no matter what he does, the future is going to happen the same way no matter what. He just wants to just save any reality from what's going on. Plus, he want to meet his dad, meet Goku, stuff like that. He's just trying to save this reality, but he knows when he goes back in time, it's going to be the same bullshit that it was before. He changes nothing. Same thing with the Avengers. They realize going back in time doesn't change anything. They're just going there to get the Infinity Stones, and then save everybody. But just going back in time doesn't erase anything. It doesn't erase World War II. So Captain America living his own life with Peggy Carter doesn't change anything.
Yeah.
In this timeline, that's what a lot of people confuse. Well, what about Bucky? Did any of the 3 Captain America movies happen? Yes, all of them still happen the same way. Nothing was changed. So he just went to another dimension and lived his life. If that makes anything sense, it's really alternate realities.
Yeah.
So yeah. So basically, what this movie did is alternate reality. The time travel made sense. Yes, you can play with it a little bit, like why if they all need Ant-Man suits. How was Thanos be able to shrink his spaceship into it? Okay, that where it get wonky. If you
I got a little like how the fuck, but whatever.
Okay, that I was just like, fuck it, go with it. Okay,
yeah.
That. But as far as like the time travel science, or I won't say science because science is bullshit. Rules. Yeah. I thought the rules were consistent. Well, I see a lot of people were confused. I've even seen some reviewers, take the score down because they didn't understand the rules, even though the movie went out of its way. Both Banner and Tony went out of great lengths to explain how the rules work. So that's my whole thing. Plus, can I give like I said, I did a paper on time travel one time. Can I explain how it operates in real world?
Okay.
Fuck it, let's go with it. Okay, so this is how, if time travel was theoretically possible, this is how it worked. Now, basically how it works, let's look at the speed of light. If you move at the speed of light, time stands still. Time doesn't move. So basically, a light here will be at the same spot at the same time. Basically, be at 2 spots at the same time because time doesn't move. However, if you move faster than the speed of light, you go backwards in time. So that light will actually be there at the other spot before the other spot gets there. So that's how it works. So all that Flash mumbo jumbo bullshit.
I was about to say the Flash, yeah.
I'm moving 300 times faster speed of light. Bullshit. They completely pull it out their ass, but whatever. Because if he did that, he would be where he was going to be like 3 years before he got there if he was moving 300 times the speed of light or an attosecond or whatever, some shit. So that's how that works. But here's the thing. Okay, so that's how you move backwards in time. Basically, if light was to move, if you move faster than the speed of light, you move, you go backwards in time. Here's the kicker, and this is why the science and all this bullshit doesn't work. Nothing that has mass can move faster than the speed of light, or even move at the speed of light. Anything with mass or anything with matter doesn't move. So we can't do it. Nothing with mass can do it.
Yeah, however, disintegrate.
We would disintegrate, right? Because it can't be done. You can't move faster than the speed of light because your body wouldn't make it. However, they have found one thing that can move faster than the speed of light, like one matter or something like that, and it's called a tachyon. So it's not some Flash mumbo jumbo. You probably heard it listening to the Flash or watch Flash like that. That's a real thing. Tachyons are a real thing, and they're the only objects that can move fast at the speed of light. So if you were theoretically speaking to build a time machine, you would have tachyons in there some kind of way. But
and the flux capacitor.
And the flux capacitor, right? But it's all bullshit. Like I said, time travel is not possible. But I would say if it was, that's what would happen. So let me say, what do we got left? We got the final battle. Is there anything? I'm trying to say if there's anything else on the menu that needs to be. Oh, let me talk about this. Let me talk about Community. Like I said, it's the Russos, right?
Yeah, the Russos.
Yeah, so they had some more Community cameos. Like if you watch the Russos, they're always throwing Community cameos into these movies, making basically Community is canon.
Yeah,
6 seasons in a movie. They said that that's what they're gonna do. So this one they had Shirley. I can't remember her real name as an actor, but I know it was
her name Yvette Nicole Brown.
Yvette Nicole Brown, something like that. Yeah. So Shirley was on there, and Chang. Senor Chang, or for those that don't watch Community, but did you die? That guy. And it's not just him. Like I said, we can go back and say the other ones. Like Dean was the dean of MIT in Civil War.
Oh, in Civil War.
Yep.
Abed
was a Hydra agent. I thought for sure Captain America was gonna beat the shit out of him. Just.
Oh yeah, was it Winter Soldier? Yeah.
In Winter Soldier, he was a Hydra agent. So I'm so glad. I'm glad Cap didn't beat the shit out of him. But he's like, son, you better move. Or even Donald Glover, even though it wasn't Russo's, but he's
it was yeah.
yeah, he's a Community alumni also. He was, the Prowler in one of those Spider-Man movies. So yeah, we got a bunch of Community, things popping up. Oh, I'm trying to think what else we got. Just shoot. I guess we can let's jump to the last battle. Okay.
The battle, yeah.
Yeah, last battle. Fucking awesome. It reminded me of some Lord of the Rings shit. Like anytime I see two armies rushing each other, I don't care how many times I see it, that shit always gets me.
Yeah.
I don't care. But it was awesome because like these characters, these characters. So everybody had their individual moment. Black Panther had a badass scene. Spider-Man had a badass swing, where they're playing hot potato and stuff like that. Scarlet Witch had a fucking badass scene. That was fucking awesome,
Yeah.
You took everything from me. I don't even know you. Oh, you will.
Yeah.
And almost took him out by her damn self.
Yeah. And well, just the build up, because at first it started out with just Tony, Cap, and Thor.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I
jumped
having their thing with
yeah.
having their thing with Thanos.
And Thanos was just sitting down. He was like, "What are you gonna do?" I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna sit there, file his fingernails, just sitting there waiting. I'm just gonna wait for them to come down and whoop my ass. You come to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was a bit of, he started giving a speech, something like I was trying to be great. I was trying to be nice to you guys, eliminating half of you, but you don't appreciate shit. Okay. Mm-hmm. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to kill everybody and just start from scratch and make you forget about it. I'm like, okay, he's fucking. So is it me or is, past Thanos way more vicious than, now Thanos?
Yeah, he's just biting Doctor Doom now.
Right. Like at first they try to make him like a sympathetic villain, like you can see his point of view. Now he's just an asshole.
Yeah. Like, I always thought he was an asshole, but that's just me.
I like him. I kind of sided with him. Like, you know what, Thanos, you got a good point.
Oh, well, last night on Geek Savs, we went on this epic long 2-hour discussion on Endgame. And yeah, we kind of argued over Thanos, and I go on a bit of a Thanos rant. So go check out Geek Savs.
Go check out Geek Savs. Like I said, hear what they say about that. Because I'm curious to see what you guys rated. Don't spoil it. We'll see from there.
But what was awesome, and this is what made the theater flip the shit out. Yeah. And I guess you could say it was spoiled for me, but I didn't believe it. Was Cap getting Mjolnir.
That was not spoiled for me. That was fucking awesome. But when I saw Mjolnir turn and come, I like, it's going to Cap. It's going to Cap. I know it. Yeah. And when he got it, that's when I flipped the fuck out. And then but was it me or did he knew how to use Mjolnir like it was second nature?
Yeah, he was whipping it around.
Nothing to him.
Yeah. But the theater I was in fucking just blew, like, yeah! Everyone just cheered and clapped and shit when that moment happened.
He was calling for lightning. He was swinging it. I'm like, what the fuck?
And Thor's like, yes, I knew you could do it. Because he almost moved it in Age of Ultron.
Right, but we always thought that he was bullshitting, Yeah. Now, there is a theory. There is a theory saying that since he knew in the back of his head Bucky killed Tony's parents, that's why he probably wasn't worthy at the time, so he had to wait for that to be settled before he could be worthy. But I think it was all bullshit. I think he just knew he could lift it, just didn't bother at the time. That's all.
Yeah.
But whatever.
But that whole scene, that whole build up to the reveal of them fighting Thanos and getting their asses kicked, and Thanos is breaking Cap's shield and he's got him down, and then you're thinking, Cap, this is where Cap's gonna die.
Yeah, and he gets stabbed in the leg.
Yeah,
all this from the comic. Also, like Infinity Gauntlet, like he stands down Thanos by himself, gets the shit beat out of him, get his shield destroyed.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, okay, this is where Cap dies.
Yeah,
but
then the army shows up. It's not just Thanos rushing; his army shows up, and it's Cap by himself.
Yeah, and at first it's just like, you see the sorcerer tunnel open up, and Black Panther and Shuri come through, and then you hear then you hear Falcon on your left, and like what, and then all these portals open, and everybody comes through, and it was just glorious, like the Valkyries, the sorcerers,
the Asgardians,
Doctor Strange, the whole Wakandan army, people were clapping, and then the Guardians come through, and then when Spider-Man made his entrance, that was everyone in my theater went, yeah, both times I saw
Right.
it. People lost it when Spider-Man came through. And that whole line, Cap, Avengers, assemble. And
This is how I was in the theater. This is how I was in the theater. He like, because, you know, he stood with the crowd, and then he called Monier back. He was like, Avengers! And they got him Monier, and I was like, say it. Say it. I was like loud as fuck in the theater. I was loud as fuck in the theater. I don't care who heard me. I was like, say it. Say it. Say it. Assemble. Oh. Like that's worth it. That was worth 10 years of that just for they to hear Avengers Assemble.
Yeah, and then Braveheart. They just then fucking battled, and it was just
You
like,
see,
yes.
no, you're not Ant-Man, Giant Man walking slow as fuck, walking. You know, War Machine flying, Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, that was the splash page of in the movie.
Right.
That was the Secret War cover. That was, you know, fucking Crisis. You know, that Crisis, because that was everybody. And
right.
Yeah, that was just glorious. And I was,
one of those George Perez covers where it just take him like 6 months to draw that shit, you know.
Yeah, that was awesome. That's
they're
like
behind that line.
Yeah, and that was like, okay, we've been sitting here for 2.5 hours just to see this, and it was the biggest payoff ever, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it was glorious. It was like whatever I thought I was gonna see from a comic. It's like honestly, that last scene surpassed it.
Yeah.
Like I thought I would never see shit like that on screen with my favorite characters. I was like, this shit is mind blowing, you know.
Yeah.
And whoever your favorite character is, they had a moment. Even if it was a small moment, they still had a moment.
Yeah. Like first, like, was it Hawkeye's got the gauntlet and he's running it through, and like Black Panther's like, pass it to me. It's like they're playing football and shit.
And that was a call out because he said, Clint, pass it to me. Yeah. Remember, in Civil War, I don't care. I don't care what your name is. But he says his name now, so it was a callback. Like I said, it's so many of those in the movie. But yeah, you got Black Panther running like a running back, going through there. Yeah. You know,
and I thought of Secret Wars, because Black Panther gets the gauntlet in Secret Wars.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna put the gauntlet on. You know, because you're right, it was from there. So
fucking Spider-Man gets it, and then he's like getting attacked by all the fucking aliens, and then fucking Cap throws Mjolnir.
Oh, remember he goes to instant kill mode.
Yeah, it's. Yeah.
And it just stabbing, and his tentacles are just stabbing the shit out of monsters and shit like that. Like, he never used kill mode, but he's using it now. So
yeah, and then fucking Captain like goes, "Hey, Queens," and he throws Mjolnir, and then Spider-Man zips and catches a ride across the battlefield on Mjolnir and shit.
Okay, now this scene we have to talk about because this is very important. It's very controversial what's been going on. Okay, so Spider-Man is about to get attacked, and he gets saved by Captain Marvel.
Yeah,
and she's like, "I'm Peter Parker. Hey, Peter Parker, I need that. Well, how you gonna get through there?" She's like, "I got help." And you saw what happened after that.
Yeah.
Whole panel of every single female Avenger or MCU character ever made. Basically the A-Force.
Yeah.
The A-Force.
Well, it was just like Infinity War. There was that moment in Infinity War where they're like, you know, she's not alone, and then all the chicks show up.
All the chicks there, but it was just 3 of them there, so nobody got offended there. But this one, they got triggered, you know.
Yeah.
Do you know how many videos I've seen bashing just that scene on YouTube?
That's weird because people clapped at that moment too.
People clapped at the moment. They're like, if you're not worried about it, if you're just enjoying yourself, people were happy to see that. Like, oh, that's another one. Oh, that's Shuri. Oh, that's Okoye. Scarlet Witch. Oh, Gamora. Oh, Nebula. Oh, Wasp. Like, what the fuck? You know? It was like, so man, but I thought the scene was fucking awesome. Manus, you know, showing up. But people want to get so triggered over everything. They see that and get offended over it. That scene was forced. Fucking right, it was forced. It's supposed to be.
Yeah. Like, chicks want to root for chicks. God damn it! What's wrong with that?
I'm sorry you got offended over that.
Because
they want to see themselves
again. All these male pussies with their fucking giant vaginas, you know, fucking dragging all over the ground. Everyone's stepping on their giant vaginas. All these so-called men, tough guys, getting triggered by, you know, because their pussies are fucking hurting.
Right. Over like a 10-second scene.
Yeah. Yeah, out of 3 hours, what you needed to see fucking, you know, Captain America punch another guy,
right?
You know, it's fucking stupid. There's always that element of people that are just gonna bitch about shit. You know,
like, are you really upset about that? Like, really? Yeah, you can't be this upset about this.
Yeah, enough to make a YouTube video about it. Come the fucking pussy. Fucking sit the fuck down, you know, before your vagina falls out, bitch.
Right.
You know?
Oh man, so yeah. Like I said, somebody also said, like I said, we talked about Scarlet Witch beating the shit, almost killed Thanos by herself, but
Yeah,
he had to call down, an airstrike on her head. Didn't care who he killed. So,
yeah, yeah,
so then we talked about Carol Danvers turning Swiss cheese, almost got the gauntlet off his hand, almost broke his fingers off.
yeah,
Because that's the thing I didn't realize till I saw Infinity War like 20 fucking times that he can't use the gauntlet unless he can close his hands. I didn't
yeah,
realize this. So since he can close his hands, the gauntlet is useless.
yeah,
He pops the Power Stone out and boop, boops her ass
yeah.
out of here.
Now, so everyone's trying to, yeah, Captain Marvel's fighting. Everyone's trying to get the gauntlet off.
Mhm.
But then Tony's the last one's there,
Right.
and they now I watched it twice now, and I'm not sure what happens, but Doctor Strange and all the sorcerers, they're basically putting a barrier over the battlefield because Thanos' ship was raining fire down on everybody.
Mhm.
But then Doctor Strange points, he does something with his finger. I don't know if
He's
he's
saying
pointing or
one.
signaling.
1 out of 14 million.
Oh, I thought because when Tony's fighting with Thanos over the gauntlet,
Mhm.
and then fucking he looks over at fucking Doctor Strange, he does the finger thing,
Uh-huh.
and then Thanos whips Tony away across, he hits him,
Mhm.
and then he's got the gauntlet, and then snaps his fingers,
Yeah.
but nothing happens,
Mhm.
and then it shows Tony's got the stones on his hand.
Right.
So I was wondering, I was wondering, did Doctor Strange do some sort of magic trick or something? I don't know, but there was that moment.
Huh. He. Huh.
Yeah. After my second view, I'm like, oh, I didn't notice this. I'm about to see it again.
I mean, but he didn't do, because Doctor Strange always does, whenever he does that shit, he does some, finger things. So
Yeah.
I think Tony just, because we already saw that Thanos could just pop the gems out anytime he want to. So that's probably what Tony did when he like his misdirection. He just got the gems before he got away from him. Just popped the gems out of his hand.
Yeah, and he's fucking the Thanos. I am inevitable, and then he snaps.
You can hit the
nothing
dud.
happens. Yeah, nothing happens. Then Tony,
I am Iron Man. Fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Finn. That's all he said.
Yeah. Yeah. So then he snaps, and then Thanos' army, poof.
You're like just out of here. And Thanos realized he beat. He's just like, oh well, yeah, you beat me.
Fuck.
Good one on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like he wanted to clap a little bit, like, hey, I'm not even mad, Oh man.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was so awesome. Then I guess we talk about the actual funeral scene. Like I said, it was sad. Tony gave his own eulogy because he's Tony. That's what he does.
Mhm.
Like if anybody gonna talk at my funeral, it's gonna be me.
Everybody wants a happy ending.
Everybody right,
Yeah.
but it doesn't come to everybody. Then Pepper had the Tony proof that Tony has a heart, floating out there. The little girl, his girl saying she wants a cheeseburger. Call back to Iron Man 1.
that was touching. I found that touching.
Yeah.
But I think what got to me too, and I don't know why, but another moment that got me all misty eyed, was Peter going back to high school and hugging Ned.
Yeah.
I was like, what? For some reason, it got to me. I was like, wow.
Got to live their life. So I was happy for that, Or even the fact that when Peter shows up and Tony hugs him, he wasn't expecting that. I was like, oh damn, okay, that's because he's back. That's his surrogate son, basically.
Yeah.
So he wanted to make sure, Spider-Man was correct, fine. He wanted to make sure Pepper was fine. Oh, she was badass fucking that rescue suit. I was like, where did she learn that shit from?
Yeah.
And so Rhodey was there, so everybody like close to him was there right there. And then like I said, at the end of the funeral scene, you had everybody in their individual franchises there. Notice the Guardians were there. Gamora wasn't with them.
Yeah.
Like I said, I know we talked about it earlier, but it was just interesting. So obviously the movie's gonna be, because I thought Gamora was there, but somebody told me she wasn't. So obviously gonna be looking for her in the solo movie.
Yeah.
Then that boy.
Yeah, someone had to tell me who he was.
Yeah, it took me a while to realize, because it stayed on him for so long. It was just like they panned. No, it stayed on him. I was like, so obviously this boy is somebody. I'm trying to think, who is he? Who is he? So I looked at him. I was like, oh fuck, that's the little boy from Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
He's just older now because, like I said, the movie was like 6 years ago or some shit.
Yeah.
So, like I said, why did they linger on him so long? Are they planning something?
Yeah.
Tony
Yeah.
did train him on how to use the Iron Man suits, or at least how to fix them.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. Here's the thing: the movie might be setting up a young Avengers. Maybe it's not, but they could set it up because first off, Hawkeye's training his daughter.
Yeah.
He even calls her Hawkeye. Ant-Man's daughter is aged up. She's actually a superhero in the comics also. I can't remember what her name is. So that's 2. Like I said, Captain America probably got about 1,500 grandkids because he was just been, keeping Peggy barefoot and pregnant. They gotta hop over the timeline. This boy, I think his name was Harley, something like that. Okay, that's the thing. Okay, that's what I want to talk about. Like I said, we talk about comics. We want to talk about comics. So, in the comics, Tony Stark back in the 90s died. In his theory called crossing. So what they did with that, they basically went back in time and got a teenage Tony Stark.
Oh.
And he learned all this shit, and he was basically working Iron Man. And he basically was pretending like he was Tony's son. He even called himself Tony Stark Jr., even though he was Tony Stark, just younger. So they probably won't do no timey-wimey shit with this one. They could easily Tony could easily just say, hey, give that boy my Iron Man suits. He's got everything. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Bam. Iron Man 4 starring that boy. And you're back in the game.
Well, that's what we're wondering. Where do we go from here? Because obviously, this is the end for that core original crew of Avengers.
I'm gonna take it a step further. I say this is the end. I say this is the last Avengers movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it's like we're not going to see that original crew again. This is the last in that whole trilogy franchise. So.
Right. Because we're not gonna. I don't think we're gonna see an Avengers movie starring Captain Marvel and War Machine, and no, it's not gonna happen. Nobody's gonna see that shit.
Yeah, Scarlet Witch. Who's on there? Who's left?
Yeah, Falcon, or even Captain Falcon, or whatever the fuck. No, nobody's gonna see that shit. So, I think Avengers movies, period, are done. Marvel's not gonna stop making movies.
No.
But they're just going to concentrate in a different area, like cranking out Avengers movies. This is it. We're done. We don't need another Avengers movie after this.
Yeah, it's going to be, they better hurry up with that Fantastic Four shit.
well, here's the thing. Like I said, they're working on that right now. Now, X-Men, that's going to take some time. Because mainly what I've been hearing about is because since there's so many people still in the X-Men like executive office, like Simon Kinberg, like that. They can't get those guys out of there yet.
Yeah.
So they got to wait for their contracts to expire before they can't fire them, basically. Mm-hmm. So, meanwhile, Fantastic Four, on the other hand, I think they can do whatever the fuck they want to with Fantastic Four.
Yeah, pretty much.
So they might as well just get that up and running, but I think they may be gun shy because every time I think Fantastic Four has been fucked up. Yeah. But I heard a theory. I don't know if it's true, Eli. Yeah. I heard they want Jon Favreau to direct it.
Well, he does all right.
He's in Disney's good graces. He's making Disney $1 billion every now and then. He's doing Lion King.
Yeah.
So
the key is if they just do what they always do and just make us give a shit about the characters. That's the key because obviously they can do whatever the fuck they want.
Right.
Time travel, making the Hulk smart. Ant-Man, Guardians of the Galaxy. They've gone everywhere. Dormammu.
Right. And that's the thing that blows my mind, Eli. Look where we are now.
Yeah.
But look where we started. With Iron Man. It was like Iron Man was basically like a sci-fi techno, but still in reality. It was still sort of believable. Like, yeah, we probably could have this shit in about 5 years or so like that. But we went from that to time travel.
Yeah, to rebooting universes and shit.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, if anybody out there, definitely do a MCU marathon, and you will see the transition, and it's very interesting. Matter of fact, when this movie comes on Blu-ray or whatever, what I'm gonna do is just go from Iron Man straight to this. And just see how jarring the difference is. Like, whoa, it's basically like a comic. It's like you said, like if you take a comic, you read the first issue, right? Mm-hmm. And then you pick up the 25th issue. It's going to be all kind of crazy shit that you completely missed out on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Matter of fact, I think they even did that with Image did that with Wildcats one time. Like Jim Lee did, like, I'm going to do something. Like, I'm in the 5th issue of Wildcats, something like that. I'm going to just release the 25th issue right now and just see what people say. And then people read the 25th like, wait, what the fuck? And so the rest of the books he's releasing, you're seeing how they got from where they are to issue 25. Because from the 5th issue to the 25th issue, if you just read like it makes no sense. You're like, I want to know how they got there.
Well, if I was on time with all my issues, then technically this would be issue 25.
Right. Or they might still be in business.
2 years.
Right. Fucking Jim Lee. And another thing that had me pressed about this, Eli, I wanted to see a Justice League movie like this. I'm still a DC fanboy at heart. Why can't I get this?
Well, like we said, we blamed Snyder, Goyer, and Nolan.
True. But here's the fucked up part about it. Okay, we read the script of what Justice League was supposed to be, right? It's the same plot as Endgame.
Yeah.
They was going to do the same shit. Darkseid was going to come down to Earth, kill everybody, turn Superman into his slave with the anti-life equation. Batman was going to send Flash back in time to fix everything.
Yeah.
The same fucking plot.
That was BVS fucked it all up. It was BVS.
Damn you, Snyder!
Yeah, that was the movie that put a pin in all the coffins.
Oh, man. That's all I wanted, man. Like, Captain Marvel, Swiss cheese, and Sanctuary. We could have had Superman doing that shit.
Yeah.
Fuck. That's what made me depressed, man. I'm just like, oh, man, this shit is so awesome. It's making me depressed.
Yeah. Now, my only gripes is like, I was hoping they were going to, because, we read the comics.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to see, I was hoping Thanos was going to be held to a higher power. I was hoping for the Celestials to come, like the Tribunal and all that. I was hoping for that in this movie.
Okay.
Or some sort of like reference to that.
Right, like the Eternity would show up, or Lady
like
Death
this guy, like they did in Infinity. Got like, hey, this guy's acting like a god. We got to do like when Adam Warlock goes to the Tribunal and has that trial. Like we got to do something about this fucking Thanos asshole. He's fucking up the universe.
And, that's the thing. In the comics, he made short work of the Avengers. The Avengers were dead in like 20 pages.
Yeah.
And then the book went on to something else.
Yeah, it becomes this whole huge fucked up space saga and shit.
Right.
And that's what I was thinking this was going to be.
But I think they had to change that for the medium. Like I'm kind of glad Adam Warlock wasn't in the story.
Yeah. Well, I thought like Captain Marvel was going to be Adam Warlock.
Right.
but that's just a minor critique, because in the end, this movie was more about that original core group of characters.
Right.
Cap, Tony, and Thor.
Right. And it started with Tony. It ended with Tony. Mm-hmm. So it had to be Tony, or at least those core Avengers, to beat him. It couldn't be Captain Marvel. It couldn't be Black Panther putting on the Infinity Gauntlet. No, it had to be them, narratively speaking.
Yeah, and that works as a film franchise.
Right. That
brings this to a close perfectly, and I get that's why they did it.
Because some things have to be adapted. Everything can't be 100% canonical, to the source material. Yeah. Something has to be changed.
Yeah, as much as I wanted to see, Dormammu and just maybe the Ghost Rider, Mephisto, and all that shit. All that shit set up and shit, because they're talking about doing the Eternals and all that. I thought they were going to do something like that, but then I'm like, you know what? I get it. This is about back to the humanity. It's all about those characters, those core characters that we care about, and that's what they nailed it on that emotional climax. They nailed it.
Right? Because that's what they were going for. Honestly, this didn't even feel like a season finale. It felt like a series finale for me.
Yeah.
Like if they were just to stop making it, and they probably will. Like I said, this is the last Avengers movie. I'm fine.
Yeah.
We don't need anymore.
It's the end of an era.
Yeah.
10 fucking years. It's like, wow.
Right. 20 movies, and plus this proves that it was a common thread that they was weaving a narrative through 20 different movies.
Yeah.
Eli, we're not gonna see this again.
No.
Nobody
you can say
do this.
Yeah, you can say, James Bond movies that don't follow a single narrative.
It don't.
It's a different movie, a different villain a different guy in every movie.
Right.
This is the same people over 20 fucking movies telling one giant story.
Right.
And that's never been done.
And like I said, never will be done.
No. So, they tried. DC tried.
And then they were like, damn, this shit is harder than we thought.
Yeah.
Fucking right it is.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is some genius level shit, man. This is I don't know. This was worth the payoff. Everything that we thought we were hoping to see, this was worth the payoff for me. It's an amazing movie. This is a milestone. We will be talking about this movie, especially when it breaks every single record ever made. You know.
Yeah.
So, hey, nothing else I can talk about. I'm just ready to see it again. That's all. When
Yeah,
this comes
go
out
see it
on Blu-ray, I'm gonna wear this fucker out. I know that.
Well, it made me go back and okay, I'm gonna watch. I saw it and then I went back and watched Infinity War again, and then went and watched this again.
And that's the thing. Like Infinity War and this, they're really one movie.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it totally, they totally complement each other.
Right. So it's like Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2. It's one movie, just like this Volume 1 and 2. So you can't be like, I'm gonna go watch Infinity War but not watch this. No, you gotta watch it together as one movie. It's 5.5 hours, 6 hours, whatever like that, but you gotta watch the whole thing. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
So a matter of fact, I hope they even if they release it like we have the ultimate cut 6-hour Infinity movie, like both of them put together like in one movie.
Like that Watchmen, the Watchmen Snyder cut or whatever.
You're like, fuck you, Snyder. 4 hours? We got 5 hours.
Yeah.
I would
longer
buy
than
that
that,
shit. Yeah.
You know, because like Infinity War is like 2.5. Like,
right. It's 2.5. This is 3. So,
that's a day. That's a day. That's a day off.
That's a whole. It's just you got to plan your whole day around that shit. So
yeah.
If they release that shit in the theaters, I would go see that theater. Like a 5-hour let's go. In IMAX.
Yeah, no shit.
Get out smelling like Comic-Con.
That's what I'm gonna do. Hopefully sometime, because I saw it in the small. I mean, the theater was fine. It's just I want to see it in the IMAX. You know.
Eli, the nearest IMAX to me is 3 hours.
Damn, that sucks, man.
I'm going to see.
Why do you live?
Why do you
live? Why do you live there?
Do you know how many times I get asked that?
You're from Atlanta and you
right. Basically, so yeah. But I don't give a damn. I will see this in IMAX. I don't care. I will find a way.
Yeah. I mean, just to see that battle on the biggest screen possible. I'm doing it.
I'd love to see Infinity War too. If I find a theater that like re-release Infinity War also, I'm watching that shit too. Yeah. I want to see. I never got a chance to see that in IMAX also. So I will plan a day around it. When it's done, I'll re-review this movie and go from there. So, shoot, anything left we got to talk about this?
We can, but we won't.
Yeah. Anything else you have to hear, go check out Geek Sack.
Yeah, like I did a 2-hour pod last night, and I could have went even longer. So I mean, I enjoyed it. You know, I can bitch about it, but I'm not. But you know, I mean, I liked it.
No movie is without sin.
Yeah, in the end, I liked it. It gave me some feels, you know, and I enjoyed it, you know.
Yeah, and that's how I feel about it also. Like I said, does the movie have plot holes? Yes, of course. Every movie has plot holes. But at the end of the day, I don't use that to knock my score or anything like that. I always go back, how did the movie make me feel?
Yeah.
This movie made me feel pretty much every emotion you could possibly make you feel about a movie.
Yeah. Was there some shit I would like to have seen? Was it the movie that I thought I was going to see in my head? No, but I came out of it satisfied.
Right.
You know.
So, Eli, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. You're gonna get mad at me. Best comic movie of all time. I know you're gonna get mad at me. I don't care. I'm putting it out there. I've had people really attack me to say it. I am sticking to my guns.
Best comic book movie, huh?
Yep.
It's hey, you know, I can see that. I can totally see that. You know?
Okay, because honestly, I thought we were. Here's the thing.
It's an achievement. It's a major achievement. This is the definitive cinematic event of a generation. Just think of all those little kids that saw Iron Man back in 2008. They're all adults now.
Right. They're taking their kids to see the movie.
Yeah, I mean, this is a major achievement. You cannot deny. Yeah, I could bitch about some shit, but I cannot deny that the accomplishment that this movie is. So,
right.
You know,
and I got people saying, "Oh, this movie, it was all right. It was overhyped." Like, what movie did you watch? Like, maybe movies aren't your thing. You know.
You know, I mean, yeah, there was some shit. Yeah, we read comics, and yeah, there's some things that are in the comics that aren't in this movie, but like I said, this is a different medium. Right. This is a whole different medium. You only have a comic. You can tell a comic. You can you can do so much more in a comic. You could blow up the world and put it back together on the next page in a comic book.
Right.
A movie only has so many hours to get the point across. So they got to focus on some shit. And in this movie, they chose to focus on characters.
Right.
You know? And that's what it does, and it knocks it out of the park.
And Eli, you said, one of your biggest gripes about the MCU is that characters don't stay dead. They killed off a bunch of people in these movies.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty.
So they stick to their guns, you know.
Yeah, Tony. Yeah, I'm sure Tony's not going to be a Skrull for a while.
Right. If they want to bring him back, they can find a way. This is comic, you know.
Yeah, they got time machines and shit. Ant-Man will pull him out of his. Ant-Man will pull Tony out of his ass.
Like I said, they always have that, you know, that escape plan, or you know, But for right now, I don't see any of them coming back. The ones that are dead.
Yeah.
All right, can we wrap this bad boy up?
Let's do it.
Okay, like I said, this is the Avengers Endgame podcast. Hopefully you enjoyed yourself. Next week we'll be back to schedule. Next week we'll be talking about War of the Realms, because we know that's what you want to hear about.
Oh, really? Okay.
Eli is so excited about that. That being said, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
We talk to you guys next week. Same bully time, same bully channel. Ooh, let's get the bad boy off.